episode of Lean This Old Lumberyard. Today we're going to go over how to fill our propane tank on our propane forklift and the hazards that are involved with it. When we first approach the propane tank, we're presented with a placard that clearly identifies this as a Type 2 explosive. If we can smell it in the air, it's a high enough concentration to actually, one spark could ignite it off. From there, we'll actually go into operation of the machine itself. First thing we need to do is make sure that our valves at the very bottom are open. And this is actually set with a safety valve down here that this cable is attached to, that in the event of an emergency, we can release the cable, and at that point this will stop dispensing fuel for us. So actual filling the propane tank, what we're going to do is, first we're going to go over we need to get our PPE on. Anytime this propane fuel comes out, we're talking about negative 44 degrees. These gloves don't seem like they're insulated much, but they are made to withstand the extreme temperatures so we don't get hurt that way. So the actual fill process itself, once we have our PPE on, our eyeglasses, our gloves so we're not getting burned, we're going to take our nozzle, we're going to bring it over to the propane tank itself. On the propane tank, there's a fill port that we're going to pull the cap off of. From there, we're going to place and attach here. Now once we have it hooked up, there's a few things we need to check. We need to ensure that our bleeder valve on the tank's closed, our valve that actually feeds the machine itself is closed, and we also have a bleeder valve on this hose itself that we need to ensure that's closed, and our main valve is off. From there, we're going to step over and actually turn on the pump itself. Now the operation of the pump, we end up with a big pumping unit down here. It's on-off switch. And then we have this feed line that comes to the top. This is a recirculation line. So if I do have the valve off at the end of the hose and this pump continues to pump, it'll take the excess pressure and put it right back into the tank. So we need to ensure that this valve is also open and stays open. So from there, I'm simply going to throw the switch, come back over to my propane tank, ensuring that my valve's off again here. I'm going to open my bleeder valve on the tank itself. We'll start seeing gas come out, and I'm going to gently open this valve to start filling. We're not really transferring vapor, we're actually transferring liquid propane coming across. So once we start seeing this actually produce a lot of liquid, a lot of vapor, that gives us a sign that it's actually full. I'm going to go ahead and shut this back off, close my vent on the tank, then I'm going to come back over and shut off the pump. So the disconnect, we're going to come back over. So now we have pressure between our valve and the tank itself. So to relieve that pressure, that's where this bleeder valve comes in. So with everything off, I'm opening this valve and I'm venting the connection point here to where I can get my hand in and it's not under pressure when I'm actually relieving it there. So we'll wait for that to vent. Once vented, I'm going to go ahead and close that back up, remove the nozzle from the tank. I'm going to replace my gloves. Coming back over to the tank, the last things we have to do is replace the fuel cap, or I'm sorry, the fill cap. Making sure my bleeder valve's closed again, and turning the fuel back onto the engine itself. That's the simplest form of filling a propane tank. And remember, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy.